Meet artist Heather Galler. She creates beautiful folk art paintings of bouquets of flowers. You see mostly organic shapes or shapes found in nature. You also see tons of color, contrast, patterns, variety, and beautiful works of art. Let's make some practice drawings of flowers in a vase. You're going to be getting some idea sheets. Some of them show different ways to make flower petals. There's some step-by-step directions if you'd like to follow something step-by-step. There's also some pictures of how to draw the center of the flower and how to add decorations to your flower or pieces of pollen. And you're also going to be getting a couple of examples of third graders just like you that created their own flower paintings. So you can look at any of those for inspiration. We're going to start by turning our board vertical. That's nice and tall like this, not horizontal like this, but vertical. And we're going to be using a dry erase marker to create some practice drawings. I want you to start anywhere on your board, but towards the top or the middle. You don't want to start down here with your flower petals. The middle is going to be for the vase and the table. So let's start somewhere in the center or a little bit higher than the center. And I'm just going to use my idea sheets and I'm going to pick a flower petal that I really enjoy or that I like. And also I'm going to come up with my own ideas too. I don't have to copy from the papers. I'm starting with the center and I think I'm going to do a little tiny dot of pollen and then just draw some some diagonal lines out. And then I'm going to draw another shape around it. When Heather Galler creates her flower petals, she creates more than one layer. So she creates the center, another shape around, and then a third shape around. We want to do that today. In the third shape, I think I'm going to make bumpy lines that kind of look like flower petals. Like that. There's my first flower. It has decoration, it has design, it has variety, it has pattern, and it has 3 different layers to it. Now I'm going to move over and create another one. And I'm going to go kind of close to this flower because I'm going to show you what special thing we're going to do when our flowers are really close together. So I'm going to draw the center again, and I can decorate the center any way I want to. I think I'm just going to draw some crisscross lines like that. And then I'm going to draw the second layer. This time I'm going to make it wavy or bumpy just to add variety. And then I'm going to create my third layer. Now, if I start it like this, something happens. I don't have room and it kind of bumps into this flower, and that's okay. That's called overlapping, and that's what I definitely want you to do today. It is something that Heather Galler likes to do to add interesting elements to her artwork. So when that happens, you're just going to finish it off on the other side, and it looks like this petal is hiding behind that one. We are using overlapping. It's also a way of using depth. Let's do another one. Now I can make so many more flowers because they're going to be overlapping. I don't have to worry about drawing all the flowers separate. I can add much more. For this pollen, I'm going to add some little circles. I'm going to do another round shape around. When it bumps into the other flowers, I'm just going to continue it. And a third layer bumps into this flower because it's overlapping. And that's the way flowers look in a real vase. For this one, I see something on my idea sheet that has a spiral in the center. Let's do another wavy line bumping into the others. That's okay, I'm overlapping. And then I'm gonna create a third layer, and even if it bumps into the top of the board and goes off the board, that's okay too. Continue it, I think it would finish right there. And then I'm gonna add some diagonal lines. Don't forget to go in and add some sort of patterns or polka dots or lines or ways to make it interesting. My flowers are looking great so far. Once you do a few flowers, you can also add some leaves. I have an idea sheet with leaves on them. They can be just a teardrop shape. You can draw a vein down the middle if you want. They don't have to be teardrop shapes. They can be curved lines. This time I add veins on both sides. They can have a little stem if you want. You don't have to. Or they can just be overlapping or sticking out of the flower. I think I'm gonna draw one more right here. And this time I'm gonna make a curvy center, a circle around it, and let's do another one of those bumpy lines around that one. And then I see on my idea sheet, they have these like little pieces that are just sticking out with little balls on the end. I just love that. Very good. Now, I have a pretty good amount of flowers. Now it's time for the vase, okay? So we don't want our flowers just floating in the air. We want to draw them on a vase sitting on a table. There are lots of different ways to draw vases. There's simple ones, curvy ones, really fancy ones, okay? And the idea sheets of the children creating their vases too, so you can just pick a shape. And what I like to do is I like to start with one of my flowers, go underneath it, and I don't have a lot of room, so my vase is gonna be pretty short, but that's okay. I'm just gonna draw a vase, a simple vase like this. So it's 2 diagonal lines, and I might have to do some more overlapping. I think my vase would stop about right there, and I can just finish it there. And if this gap bothers me, I can just add another flower shape to fill it in, because I don't want to have a lot of empty space. I want to fill my space and have lots of positive space, not a lot of negative space. Then I'm going to add some curved lines on my vase. I don't want to leave my vase plain and boring. I want to add some patterns to it. And then I'm going to add the table. And I'm actually drawing what's called a horizon line. It's a horizontal line that looks like my vase is sitting on a table instead of just floating in the air like this. I can't leave it this way. So I'm going to start on the left side. I can do my horizon line way up here or a little bit lower. I'm not going to do it down here where my vase is. I'm going to go a little higher so that it stops about right there. So horizontal line until I get to my vase. And then I lift up my marker and draw an imaginary line. If it were to continue, it would continue on this side. Now it looks like my vase is sitting on a counter or a table. And I'm gonna decorate it like a tablecloth or like a table that has patterns. You can keep it simple with vertical lines, or you can go in and add other lines too. So I'm doing horizontal and vertical to make it look like a checkerboard. Wow, I love my drawing. Now I'm going to erase it and do a whole new one. And I'm going to do a couple more so you can see some examples. I'm going to go super fast, but you're going to take it slow and take your time. But you are going to draw one and then draw another one and see how many different flowers with vases drawings you can come up with today. So you will have lots of practice in using variety, overlapping, space, and all kinds of interesting lines and shapes to make your drawing fantastic.